Hey, this is Max. Welcome back to Forza Horizon 5. A viewer on the YouTube channel asked me to give him a breakdown of the Wheelie tune with the Ford Transit van. So I'm going to build a Transit van from the ground up and tune it to do wheelies. My current Ford Wheelie Transit van is set up a little differently. Simply because I was playing with it with all-wheel drive and all those fun things. I'm going to give you a little bit easier build here. The key to most of these builds revolves around one, engine selection. Okay, the standard engine is far too weak to do any wheelies, so you're going to go at least to V8 or, in this case, possibly the 7.2 liter V8, which is a very powerful V8 that can hit well into the 1300 horsepower range. You probably don't even need to upgrade it further from this to do wheelies, but if in doubt, you can always upgrade it further. I'm leaving it as rear wheel drive for now, throwing a turbo on it. That pushes it. Whoops. No, I didn't install it. That's no good. Install. Okay, we put a turbo on it. Now you're 1,000 horsepower. 1,000 horsepower vehicles do wheelies really easily. The next step is to get the drag tires. You want drag compound because what you want to get ultimately would be this 10 and 10 acceleration and launch. Now sometimes you can get it with other type of compounds, but generally speaking, for acceleration and launch to get really high, you really need that 10 and 10 from the drag tires. So that's what we're going to go with. You can also, in order to not have the rear tires spin too easily, you can always go with wider versions of it, but if you're already at 10 and 10, that's really not necessary. It's just something some people like to do just to be sure they'll get the wheelie properly. The next step that's important is to get springs that are adjustable, dampers that are adjustable, and alignment tuning. And I always recommend getting the rally because it increases ride height. The higher the ride height, the more likely the car will do a wheelie. So all these negative ride height ones make it harder to do wheelies. Not that you can't tune them to do it, but it'll be harder. But much easier with the rally setup. And for drag racing, the weight transfer and just the way the game works, also a lot of people generally recommend using rally. Once you get that, the adjustable anti-roll bars is mostly so you can set it to 1. And then lighter generally will make the car rise up a little more. So lighter is not a bad thing here either. We lose some pounds, and therefore we're getting closer to the setup for having the capability to run a wheelie. The next step, of course, is transmission. You want something that's adjustable. In my wheelie video, I recommend 10-speed automatics because it's just easier to get more torque, and in the first gear to get the car to lift. You can still try to start with just a base race trans or even a 7-speed. It doesn't mean that you have to go with 10-speed, but 8, 10, these kind of transmissions tend to make it easier. Adjustable diff, you can go with whichever one. It doesn't really make a difference because you're going to tweak the ultimately tweak the final drive anyway. And then if you want to just throw some other stuff in just to do it, it doesn't hurt to have some more upgrades. So that is about 1,000 horsepower. And that should be more than enough to do the job. So that's 81,000 as far as investment. The next step is, of course, you have the car built. Now you have to tune it. Okay, and just like in the other video we talked about, the key is the rear wheel having the highest grip possible. The front wheels, well, here, doesn't really make a difference to me that much, but you can put it to 55 to be safe. One of the big ones, though, is this. You need to see how this is like 15 seconds, 0 to 60. That actually may be fine. Either that's going to be a lot of tire spinning, or that's because you're going to lift the front end and you can't go forward real well. So we'll leave that for now. The alignment 0 in the back, 0 in the front. Not necessarily have to be that, but certainly none of this hurts it. You don't really need anti-roll bars for this. You may want to leave the rear stiff if you want some more control of the two tires, but you don't really need it. Springs is where it starts to become important. You want strong springs in the back, weaker springs in the front. I can tell by looking at these numbers, this thing will wheelie like crazy already. You know, basically soft in the front, hard in the back. You don't even need to necessarily go to max here, because the way this car is, it'll probably lift without that. And then finally, differential, you can put it to max, but you see how the numbers just dropped to 4 seconds because I let the tires spin more. But if I go up this way, it actually goes to 18. Okay, so you can leave it like that. That should be enough to get the car to possibly wheelie. I didn't even adjust the final drive yet. We'll look at it, but if it doesn't do the wheelie, then we'll do the final drive. So 18-second acceleration is because it wants to lift the front end. Okay, right there. So this one takes no specific skill to get it to go. I'm using automatic transmission, and I'm just launching. Okay, and it'll wheelie like crazy. Woohoo! Right, so 1,000 horsepower is more than enough to do it. This car is just very wheelie happy. It's wheelie happy to wheelie. Okay, woohoo! Just like that. Downhill tend to make things easier, but you do want to start from a standstill to do the wheelies, just like that. Okay, so that is the Transavan wheelie tune, and this requires literally no special tuning and no special launching technique. You don't have to use clutch manual and clutch drop or any of that stuff. It just does it. Okay, of course it won't turn, but it'll run and pull wheelie pretty good. And the final step in all good wheelie tunes should be finding a nice livery to go with the look of the car. Right, it's a cool looking little van, but it's kind of blah when you just look at it by its original design. However, don't do free candy. You're gonna get banned. You know, I like the mystery van. That seems like a fun one. Amazon Prime wheelie car. Yeah, I may do that. I think this one will make an Amazon Prime car out of it. Wait, hold on. I just saw another one I thought I would want, but hey, Amazon Prime it is. Okay, so we're gonna go with this design, and now our Amazon Prime delivery guy can drive his van and do wheelies. Hey, I got your package right here. Yeah. Oh, whoops, I crashed. Your package is destroyed. I'm sorry. Wait, let me shake it up for you a little bit. You know, I don't know what you got in the box, but let me shake it up for you. Just a little bit. Okay, now, we know that it'll do wheelie in the first gear. So in order for it to kind of, you can get it to bounce gears, okay, if you do a little more aggressive kind of gearing here for the second gear. Well, actually, not necessarily aggressive, but if you put the second gear in the third gear and the fourth gear in a certain way, you can even bump it up a little, okay. You can get a constant series of wheelies as you shift gears. Okay, in this case, first gear wasn't finished, ultimate 2 wheels. So here we go, Amazon Prime wheelie van. Woohoo! Okay, again, once you're already rolling, it's a little bit harder to get the wheelie going. You want to start from a standstill. But that is it, my friends. My Amazon wheelie car. So let me go ahead and put that out as a shared setup and tune. We'll save it as Amazon wheelie van. Wow, I can't type van in there. Alright, never mind. So wheelie van. Okay. Okay. So we save that. It's definitely not good for top speed. It's a beginner setup. And launch from a stop. And we share it. And bam, there it is. So somewhere out there you should be able to find now a easy setup and tune for the Transit from me with an Amazon van that does wheelies. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video and that it showed you clearly how to do this. You know, the viewer who requested that I make this video wants to build some like this for his son to play with. That's why I wanted to give you the exact build and tune, so you don't have to accept my Amazon van. You can do whatever you want to do and throw a different livery on it and have some fun. Alright, well, thank you for joining me for my little Transivan wheelie video. If you like the video, leave a like. If you like my channel, you want some other wheelie cars, tunes, setups, or anything else I can share with you that might be helpful, feel free to make requests. It makes it more interesting for me as well. And as always, thank you for watching my videos. I'll catch you next time while doing a wheelie.